Let's talk about the trigger. Okay, we're going to get into a little bit of nomenclature. Then I'm going to give you 3 ways that we pull the trigger, and then 3 common ways that I see people resetting the trigger. Okay, so let's start with the nomenclature of the trigger itself. With the trigger, really important is my positioning of my trigger finger on the trigger. Okay, I want to make sure that the middle pad of my index finger is on the middle of the trigger. Okay, it's important so that I don't have as much influence in the muzzle as I pull it. Right, it's a little bit dependent on hand size and your grip, but what we don't want to see is your finger all the way through to the other side, right? Because that will have a lot of influence. We also don't want the tip of your finger barely touching the trigger, because that will also have influence. We want to try to split the middle, put that trigger right in the center pad of your index finger. Okay, so the trigger itself, now that it's set in the middle of my index finger on the pad, right, as I start to pull the trigger back, there's not a lot of resistance. This movement in the trigger is considered the slack. As I continue pulling, I then feel resistance. This is the wall. The wall of the trigger is, for whatever trigger you have, the poundage that is required to pull it. That's what you need at the wall. So I can sit here. Once I start to apply more pressure, it then breaks through the wall and sends the round. All right? So once again, trigger fully extended, not a lot of resistance, and that's the slack. Then I feel more resistance, that's the wall. And then now I push through the wall and the trigger breaks and the round is sent. Okay? It's important to understand that, because that will go into practice how we actually pull the trigger 3 different ways. So we're going to start with smashing the trigger. Smashing the trigger means that the trigger is fully extended, and all I'm doing is, from a fully extended trigger, I'm smashing my finger through the slack, through the wall, and I'm breaking the round. The reason that this is important is because the least accurate way to pull the trigger is to have a fully extended trigger and just smash all the way back. Right? That is going to have the most deviation in my muzzle through the trigger pull. But if I need to shoot faster and I don't have to be as accurate, then I can do a smash trigger pull. Next, we have a prep smash. So the prep smash means that I maybe need to shoot slightly slower, or I need to be more accurate. So I'm going to prep, meaning I prep to the wall, so I get rid of all of the slack, then I smash through the wall. So I prep to the wall, no slack, then I smash through the wall and break the round. Lastly, the third way that we can pull this trigger, and the most accurate way, is I prep to the wall and then I roll through the wall. Once again, I prep to the wall, no slack, and then I give smooth pressure rolling through the wall and crack the round. Right? So once again, we have a smash, the least accurate but fastest way to pull the trigger. Then we have a prep smash, I prep to the wall, and then I smash through the wall. A little bit more accurate, but I can't shoot quite as fast. And then lastly, the most accurate way and most consistent way to pull the trigger is I prep to the wall and then I roll through the wall.